Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the J Rock Show here from the SimWorld TV studios. And happy 4th of July to you all. It may be Independence Day in America, but there is no rest for the JK. And on this Friday afternoon, I'm sure you all saw the tweet. I am joined by former McDonald's All-American, formerly of the Scorchers, now going to be a freshman at Texas Tech, Mr. DJ Amir. Welcome to the show, DJ. How are you doing on Independence Day?
I'm doing good, honestly. It's a blessing to be alive for another day, so can't complain.
Yeah, I I, I really get that, man. How have you been adjusting to life on campus?
It's been good, teachers, honestly, I've been getting to my classes when it comes to like getting my papers and all that stuff, so rubrics and all that. So teachers been nice. They understand that like I'm an athlete. And on top of that, I've been getting used to the summer training. So I've gained honestly like 10 more pounds. So it's pretty helpful.
Oh, gain 10 more pounds. That's definitely a big one, especially with um with you having not played a game yet. Just pretty
Yeah.
impressive transformation, I'll say. But
Thank you, thank you.
I got a question I wanted to ask you from one of the viewers, and this is from
Yes.
Coach Redbud, Lone Star head coach. Wanted me to ask you, what do you prefer, DJ? Do you prefer that native Hawaiian food, or are you preferring that Texas barbecue?
I'll say for me, you can't go wrong with that native Hawaiian food. But like I love Texas food. I've been going to the Texas Roadhouse actually recently with some of the teammates, and honestly, it's probably one of my favorite spots here.
Really? You big fan of their cinnamon butter, their rolls?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I've honestly kept asking for that. They said that I had to go ahead and be a busboy for them because of how much I'm eating.
I mean, that's one good way to kind of pay off the meal. Maybe a potential
Definitely.
VIL deal down the line with them would be something interesting.
Hopefully, hopefully, I would love that.
Oh, and kind of talking about that, going from Hawaii to Texas, what's been the big culture shock for you going from Hawaii to Seattle playing with the Scorchers, now in Lubbock?
I'll say for me, the culture shock is everybody's differences. So, let's say in Hawaii, there's more. Well, it's called Aloha, which is like
Yeah.
it's there's different terms for Aloha. So it'd be like greetings, or more of them saying I love you. Like just like it's just the love and the differences that they show, but they all show it the same way. But it's just like they have their different ways of showing it.
Okay. Yeah, but I've been to Texas a few times, and the barbecue and the cowboy boots down there.
Right.
It's a nice spot for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And DJ, can you kind of give me
Yes.
more info on how you ended up at Texas Tech and what stood out about them during that recruiting process?
Oh yeah. So I was stuck between Texas, and I think it was Oregon. But then I received the offer from Texas Tech, and then I saw that Jordan and Cyrus was all going there, and I'm like, you know what? I know them. You know what I mean? Like we played club together growing up and stuff. So like we have a little bit of chemistry already with that. And on top of Texas Tech being like quote unquote an underdog, I mean, I would like to be a part of that. It would have been cool teaming up with Arthur at Texas, but I feel like my calling is at Texas Tech.
I get that absolutely. Well, I that was like half of the question, but the other half is: were there any schools where if they had offered you, you would have committed, or any schools where they that didn't offer you that you wanted to?
Honestly, growing up, I was a big Alabama fan, and me and Kai are close. Kai Killens, like we are like
Yeah,
really
yeah.
close from like 2019. So like I was honestly looking forward to seeing if I can get that offer, but it things happen for a reason, and honestly, I'm glad I committed to Texas Tech because it allowed me to be closer to my two other friends that, like I said, we played club ball growing up.
Yeah.
So
It's
can't be
funny.
can't be can't be upset with that.
It's funny. You're the second straight guest I've had that said that they're close with Kai Killens. I guess for all that we say about Kai Killens on the court, he's seems to be pretty personable off of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. We played football back when we was younger, so
What position did you play?
I played tight end.
Ooh, you play tight end. Eh,
Yeah,
I
he
know
he
you're an
played tight
athlete,
end
so
too. Hey, oh yeah, we was definitely killing it on the field.
oh, I would have been scared to go up against you guys. That's for sure. That's really true.
Yeah.
But you kind of said that you've known Jordan and Cyrus for so long, can and that you guys have had that relationship that kind of played into your decision to attend Texas Tech. But how nice has it kind of been to have them alongside you for this journey? Can't talk.
No, you're all good. It's great, honestly, because since like I said, us three are close. We share like an apartment together, so like we already have that like one on the court chemistry and off court chemistry. So there's never really a feeling of awkwardness with each other. Because sometimes when you get to college, you don't know your roommates, but since we knew each other, you know what I mean. Why not just be room together? So it allowed for that, and then we we respect each other's space. You know what I mean? And so it's just easy for us to kind of adapt to that
Yeah.
because we're already brothers basically.
Not to mention the fact that you guys are workout buddies and that you're spending a lot of time together in the gym. What training have you guys really been doing together early on?
Oh yeah, so for training, honestly, I've been getting a little bit of a. Cyrus has been helping me with my 3 point shots, and I've just been helping them with their defense because like defense is my specialty, and then so we just share each other's strengths, and then we break our weaknesses, and then we make it our strengths.
Yeah.
So honestly, I feel like from high school to now, I've been a better 3 point shooter. Cyrus been a way better defender. Like his improvements is off the charts. Jordan, like they all honestly gotten taller. I think Jordan's actually now taller than me now. Like yeah, they've grown in height and size, and they matured in their skills now. So for us, it's an easy transformation.
Yeah, I had Jordan on, and he's so serious about ball. He was just like, I don't care about the drama, I don't care about the noise, I just want to play.
Yeah,
You the same way?
yeah. That's Jordan. Yeah, I'm definitely the same way. Obviously I'll chat a little bit with some other players, but at the end of the day, it's all love. You know what I mean? We all have one goal, and our goal is just to be the best that we can.
Oh yeah, I definitely get that. And we already talked about Jordan and Cyrus. Those two guys are coming in to play with, or you're gonna be playing with. But there's also Tyrell
Right.
Thompson on this squad. How
Yes.
much has he really helped you adjust to that SimWorld U environment and landscape? I know he's one of the more talented guys on that roster.
Right. So he showed me what it feels like to be a true like hard worker workhorse. You know what I mean? So he's been like a role model for honestly all of us, like a big brother. You know what I mean? I feel like no matter who you are, like if you're a rookie coming into any sport or anything, you're gonna need that role model that to guide you, and that's who he's been for all three of us. You know what I mean? We wake up early in the morning, get a schedule because back in high school you could just wake up at any time and you could just ball out. But this is college now. You know what I mean? So like you have to start being more disciplined in your training.
Yeah, I definitely get that. And we're talking about off season training and it being the summer and all. You'll be in that Trey J SummerSlam next week.
Yes.
How about you
Hmm.
playing alongside Corey Yams?
Yeah, man. I like that kid, man. He's got a bright future. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's almost no flaws with his gameplay. Like I was just down. We just connected recently because I brought him to the facility, and like just seeing how he's blossomed into from middle school to now prep, like stuff like that. It's just his game has matured. You know what I mean? And I'm excited to play with him.
Yeah, I I definitely get that. I spoke to him earlier this week, and he's always got a lot to say. But Shifting gears a little bit, I kind of want to go back to your
Hmm.
prep days. The Scorchers, Braden Berry. I've had him on the show before, and I know that you guys are pretty tight. So, what can
Yes.
you kind of tell me about your relationship with him, even now with you in college?
Yeah, Braden. He's honestly like more than just a coach. You know what I mean? He's a father to me. You know, like he's very strict, obviously, like strict. You know, like a father's always going to be strict. You know what I mean? He's going to teach. He's going to teach his sons or his. You know what I mean? Like his people that's under him how to just live a certain way or how to grow as a person. And he taught me more than just being a basketball player. He taught me how to, you know what I mean, work hard or nothing's given to you. You know, just stuff like that.
Yeah.
He just instilled morals in me.
How did he prepare you for like what Coach McCaslin's been throwing at you quickly?
He's mainly been telling me that not every coach is going to have the same um, teachings, but he's teaching me. He's told me how to like adapt and just be very open minded. So what worked in high school might not work in college. So if the coach in college changes that, and because he knows that there's a better, he sees a bit higher potential in me, don't go against it.
Yeah, I get that.
Just trust the process.
And you said that you're a fantastic defender. You
Yes.
pride yourself on that. Who's the toughest player you've ever had to defend?
Oh, the toughest player. Um, that's a good question. You know what? I'll say the toughest player that I played was Cooper Flag. Honestly, like I remember we would do pickups in I think it was in I don't know, no, I can't remember exactly where it was because we go all over the place pickup, but we did a pickup and I think he gave me at least a good 10, 10, 15. That's the most really anybody scored on me. So like 10, 15 points. That's what he gave me.
Yeah, I and he's gonna be in the state with you now in Dallas. Are you ever gonna go down and catch him as Maverick? Catch a game?
Oh, for sure, for sure. I admire his work. Honestly, he's crafty for his size. Like he moves like a point guard.
Oh, he's so special. I don't think
Yeah,
that is probably one of the most special talents I've seen enter the SWBA in quite some time. It's pretty impressive.
easily.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
very customary answer though. I will say probably one I'm not very surprised by, but
right.
DJ, do you have a pregame ritual? Uh, like pregame meal, like song you always gotta listen to. Are you?
Believe it or not. So here's a funny story. So with Coach Barry, before my game, he we would have like he's very much like he's one of those coaches that's like eat healthy, all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like just like any coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I realized the more I kept eating healthy before my the game, I don't feel as energetic as I usually do. Because I used to back in middle school, my pregame ritual was to eat double quarter pounder meals before every game because that's just my good luck charm. And then so he was like, "Yeah, what's one thing that can help you get ready mentally and get you that energy to get you to go?" And I'm like, honestly, it's that double quarter pounder meal, coach. And he said, you know what, we're gonna try this. We're gonna try this game, and if it works, then we're just gonna keep with it. And that's when I think I dropped 20. I think I dropped 24 or 23 that day. So yeah, and then he was like, you know what, we just gonna stick with that. And after that, I just kept going.
I was gonna ask you next if you have a cheat meal, but aside from quarter pounders or Texas Roadhouse, anything else where you like to eat it during the off season?
Yeah, it's a Hawaiian delicacy. It's a spam musubi. It's basically spam, rice, and seaweed. And I think it actually originated in I think Japan, but in Hawaii, it's a very popular dish in Hawaii.
I've never been to Hawaii, man, so I gotta I gotta get out there.
I can get you a ticket.
Appreciate that, DJ. I will
Of
definitely be
course,
taking you up on that if I need recommendations on where to go out there. You're the person I'm asking first. But we
I got you.
talked about quarter pounders. We talked about Coach Barry. Is there anything that the people at home, the viewers, don't know about you or that you want them to know about you before you make your SimWorld U debut?
Yeah, so there's one misconception about me is that I have a high ego and I'm like just trash talk anybody in sight. That's not true. You know, I have respect for all competitors that I compete against. You know what I mean? And I love competition because that's what helps bring the best out of any of us, really. Because basketball, some people might not say, but it's a really physical sport and it's a mental sport. And if you're not mentally ready for it, then you won't really be you won't succeed basically. You know what I mean? Look at LeBron James. People trash talk him all the time. How does he retaliate? How does he turn up? It makes him perform better. Just like when he scored 20, I think it was like 28 or 25 points in the third quarter, because he had 6 points going into halftime, ended the game with 38 points. You know what I mean? So like I'm not a huge trash talking person, but I'm not gonna let somebody just trash talk me and not and expect them to get and they're not I don't want them to expect to get away with it basically.
Yeah, of course. Like, what I've noticed is when people think that people kind of want to tear you down, in a sense.
Right.
That's something I've noticed
Yeah.
a lot. But
That's spot on.
you mentioned Cooper Flag, you mentioned LeBron. When you're in the film room, what players are you typically watching the most tape of?
So people would think that I would watch the person I'm guarding. Yes, that's part of it. But who I mainly watch is one, the coach, their coach, and two, their main ball handler. Because I know that if the coach, I have a sense. So I can look at the coach and I can tell if he's the third. And if he's like, okay, we need to, I can tell like his, what he's thinking basically through his facial expressions. And in the ball handler, people try to use, ball handlers, they're great ball handlers, elite ball handlers. You know what I mean? And I pick up their tendencies. Let's say if they do a certain movement to
Yeah.
their, like, let's say, they tug on their jersey. You know what I mean? I would know that it means it would definitely mean something. You know what I mean? Like it's just the small things that the ball handlers do, and I use that as my trigger. You know what I mean? So if I know it's out of their norm, and if I know it's out of their norm, I know I got to them.
Yeah.
So it's just all depends on the coach and their ball handler, and obviously the person I'm guarding. And if I can stop the person I'm guarding from scoring, I know that it just makes everybody better as a whole.
Yeah.
And if I know I got to the ball handler's head, the point guard, I know that we're all gonna just start elevating, and everybody's just gonna just blossom into superstars, basically.
Yeah. But no player where you're like, I want to model my game after them. They kind of inspired me to do this. It's kind of just watching the coach and the ball handler pick on defensive tendencies.
Yeah, but like if we talk about someone that I want to model my game after, has to be honest. He's a bulldozer. I like bulldozing through people. That's why every time I attack the rim. I just try to rip the rim down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If someone's in my way, I'm just gonna run them over. I'm gonna let them know that, hey, just because you're right there, I'm going to make you feel me. I'm gonna let you know that I'm not scared to keep attacking the rim.
Yeah. And similarly, guess that's why you kind of loved playing football when you were younger.
For sure. Yes. I was actually a four-star recruit, but
You
stick to
chose basketball.
basketball.
You think
For sure, definitely did.
did you ever consider playing being a dual sport athlete at Texas Tech or anywhere?
Honestly, that's definitely something I wanted to do, but I never really received an offer from Texas Tech. So, but I mean, I could always walk on. You know what I mean? I could always try and see if the coach. I mean, I'm 6'7". You know what I mean? 6'7", 200 plus pounds. That's definitely a good size for a tight end. Obviously, need to put a little bit more weight on if I am a tight end, but even then, my 40-yard dash time is a 4.6. You know what I mean? I'm fast for a tight end.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive for a tight end. You're not going to see a lot of tight ends running the 4.6s.
Oh yeah, definitely not. Unless you're like Gronkowski or something, like running like some pretty crazy times. George Kittle, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
those are elite athletes, you know what I mean?
yeah. And I really want to ask you this, and I can't believe I kind of haven't sooner in this episode. But who are you most excited to face off with in SimWorld U? In conference, out of conference, players, specific players or specific teams? Just Hit me with it, man.
You know what? I'm glad you said that. I'll say one of the most. Mm, that's a great question. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say Barkley James and them. You know what I mean? Their team. I forgot exactly what. I think it was it SMU.
Yeah, SMU.
SMU. I would love to play against them. You know what I mean? During off season we was trash talking, we was going back and forth. But deep down we all have a mutual respect for each other, regardless of what goes on in front of like on SimWorld, on social media. You know what I mean? We have a deep respect for each other, and we both teams want to play each other. You know what I mean? Like their team is stacked. Honestly, one of the best teams that's in the nat like in NCAA or
SimWorld U.
In SimWorld. SimWorld U. Thank you. In SimWorld U, one of the best teams in SimWorld U. So it's like, why not? You know what I mean? They have a competitive fire. We have competitive fire. We're a young squad. They're a more established, mature squad.
They're still pretty young too. Only Barkley and Cam Jones are both sophomores,
Yeah,
and Maury Washington's a sophomore, then Kenyon Young's a freshman. So they're still on the
yeah,
younger side too. They're still all underclassmen.
for sure. Yeah, and I have like I said, I have so much respect for Barkley James. Like what he did before he transferred to SMU is crazy for a freshman. You know what I mean? Like it's just the way that he carries himself. You know, as an athlete or as a person. You know, he's not deterred. Like he's the fourth quarter god basically. Like he'll turn up in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I really understand that because hey, who doesn't like Mr. Clutch Time? Like that's why Damian Lillard is one of the players that I always loved because
Yeah,
that shot against the Thunder, you're going to see it everywhere.
right.
And I want to end this episode with the question I ended the episode with Devontae with. I kind of want to make it a rite of passage.
Okay.
All time starting lineup, you and four others. Who are you putting around you and why?
All right. For number one, it's gonna be difficult. It might be controversial, but I'm gonna have to put at number one Kyrie Irving
Okay. I don't think that's
because
controversial.
honestly, nobody can guard him. There's a lot of people like to put Stephen Curry or a lot of people like to put Magic Johnson, but for me, it's Kyrie Irving because not many people can guard him. I've never seen anybody really lock Kyrie up. You know what I mean? Nobody's really held Kyrie down. Only person that can really hold Kyrie is Kyrie himself. You know what I mean? So number one's gonna be Kyrie. Number two, I would have to say Kobe. Now people might be like, why not MJ? I feel like Kobe just brings a different intensity to the game. You know what I mean? And it's just 81 points. Like, come on, bro. Like, only two other people scored, or only one person scored higher than him, and that's Will.
Yeah.
So, Kobe, perfect example.
Yep.
And at small forward, I put me. You know what I mean? Obviously.
Yep.
And at four, I'll have to put LeBron. Because one, LeBron can guard all positions, 1 through 5. There's not a position that LeBron can't guard. There's almost nobody in NBA history that LeBron can't guard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Here's my
LeBron's
question
done it
though.
all. He's guard.
Which
Oh yeah, go
LeBron
ahead,
are
go
we
ahead.
taking? Are we taking Heat LeBron or Cavs LeBron?
I'll take Heat LeBron. That's an athletic demon.
Yeah.
We talking about primes like 6'9", 200 and what 60, 270 pounds of pure muscle with a what 44, 46 inch vertical, and he's faster. He might not be the best shooter as he is now, but if we're trying to talk about ball dominant, I'm gonna go ahead and take LeBron. You know what I mean? Get to the paint at all costs.
And who's your center?
And my center is gonna have to be Shaq. Nobody can guard Shaq. I don't need to say much. Nobody can guard Shaq. Like the one person that I feel like LeBron can't guard is Shaq because Shaq is just too big. That's too much weight. 300 pounds and pure muscle. Someone that can bench at least 500 pounds easily. Come on, bro.
Yeah. I like those picks. Thank you for taking the time to join the show, DJ. Really
Of
enjoyed what you
course.
had to say. You're always welcome to return. Hopefully, I'll get to have you on during the season to kind of hear more about how the season's going for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. You
Yeah.
know, I appreciate it truly.
Yeah. And that's going to do it for this episode, folks. Happy 4th of July again. Next week we're gonna have another guest on. Let me know who you think that should be on social media in the comments down below, and I will see you soon. And remember, folks, SimWorld, the only place you can see the game, be the game. Enjoy the holiday weekend.